Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Moon for Readings. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So in today's video I have an exciting topic planned for you. And also this is another collab with Capricorn Venus Tarot here on YouTube and also Witch Obsession here on YouTube. So I'll talk more about that in a second. But for today's video we're going to be taking a look at what people think of you when you enter a room. So this could pertain to like the workspace whenever you enter the break room to go get lunch, or whenever you step into a store, like you go into Starbucks to get coffee, whatever this is how people view you whenever your energy enters a room. So we're going to pick up on that today, okay? And as always, I have 4 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1 here with the elephant and this beautiful crystal right here. Please let me know if you guys know what type of crystal this is, because I have no idea, but I think it's gorgeous. When I picked it up, they didn't even have a sign as to what type of crystal this was when I went to my local rock store. So please let me know about that. It's beautiful. And then for pile number 2 here, we have the moth with this beautiful green malachite crystal. It formed so like cool is the best word I can use to describe it. I love how it turned out right here. So that's gorgeous. Then for pile number 3, we have the peacock here with this beautiful cryophrase crystal right here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love that minty color it has. And then last but not least, we have the snake here with this beautiful purpite crystal or purpleite crystal, something like that. Gorgeous colors. I hope it's showing up on camera like it is in real life. I feel like my camera never does justice to my cards or my crystals or anything like that. So I hope you can just pick up on their beautiful energy. So take your time whenever you need to. I feel like I've been rambling long enough for you to choose your pile at this point, but if you need some extra time, just feel free to pause the video, and whenever you're ready and you've chosen your pile, the timestamps for each of these piles will be in the description box down below and also the pinned comment. Now, to get into the exciting part of today's reading, like I said, this is a collab. So the other part of this reading about how you're currently being viewed by everyone in your life is going to be by Witch Obsession here on YouTube, and I'll definitely pin his video down below. And also we're going to be doing a collab with Capricorn Venus Tarot again, and she's going to be doing what is the gossip on you right now. Okay, so all kind of in the same vein of type of videos. So if you're interested in any of those topics, both of those videos will be in the description box down below. So without further ado, after all my rambling, let's get into pile number 1. Hello pile number 1, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. If you chose this beautiful elephant card right here, or this gorgeous mystery crystal right here, then you're in the right place today. So let me just put these off to the side right here, and then we'll get into your reading. So I initially want to apologize for my nails today. I know they look pretty rough, so I just want to apologize for that. I'm aware that they look bad. Also, if you skipped the intro, today is a collab with 2 wonderful people here on YouTube. So Capricorn Venus Tarot, she's going to be doing What's the Gossip on You. And then Witch Obsession here on YouTube. It's been a while since I've done a collab with him, but he is also going to be doing how you are currently being viewed by people in your life right now as well. So if you're interested in those topics, those videos will be linked in the description box down below. So let's just head into your reading pile number 1. What do people think of you whenever you step into a room? What does your energy say about you? So I'm going to first tackle your significator card right here, the elephant, and then we'll get into some more oracle cards and then tarot to get more details. So with that out of the way, you could be a fire sign. So Cancer. You could be a Cancer that's not a fire sign, but so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, definitely getting heavy on like the Aries or the Sagittarius here, but you don't have to be that sign. Could just be strong in your chart. Could be your rising sign as well, since this is how people initially see you or view your energy from first glance. So you definitely have a lot of wisdom. You are very wise. You know, when you think of an elephant, you think of their wisdom and their their fortitude. So initially when you step into a room, people are like just noticing your big, powerful energy. You know, like the elephant in the room type of trope where it's like everyone notices you. You might not have people like talking about you or even necessarily staring at you, though I do feel like a lot of people might stare at you when you initially walk in a room because your energy is just so loud. You don't even have to say much of anything, pile number one. People just notice you. Like you step into a room and it's like the whole room is overtaken by your strong presence. And again, you don't have to say a word. People just know that you are there. So you might have a lot of people just like quickly looking at you and then looking away, or you might have a lot of people who look up to you, or even people who are intimidated by you. You might get a lot of people who you feel either don't like you or just try to avoid you, but that's because your energy is so loud and they feel like they need to quiet theirs when they're in the same room with you. Also, you are very like you're very well thought of in your workplace, I guess you should say. So if you aren't a boss, you could, though I do see a lot of you guys being leaders in your area of work, but if you aren't, you are on the road to success, and a lot of people see a lot of potential with you. So your bosses, your coworkers see you as being very, very prosperous, very lucky, and also very, very destined to succeed in your career or whatever your goals you are going for. So love to see that energy. Let's pull some more oracle cards to get more information about how people view you whenever you step into a room, pile number one. So let's see. How do people view my pile number ones when they step into a room? Okay, that card wants to come out, so let's see it. Wow, yeah. So we have number 4 here with higher power. Yeah, this is just telling me that people know when you step into a room, like I was saying before, like there's some sort of connection you have to the divine, to spirit, God, whoever you believe in. And whenever you step into a room, people can feel like God through you. And not to get all like woo-woo or anything like here, but I do feel like your energy is so strong that people just immediately want to listen to you. So you would make great leaders, great public speakers, pile number one. Even if you don't feel like you fit into that trope, this is just the energy that people get from you when you step into a room, that you're a person of power, that you have a lot of important things to say, that you speak directly from God or source here with this higher power, and that everything you say has meaning, and even the way you walk into a room has spiritual and significant meaning, even for those people who aren't spiritual. They just know that you have a higher purpose in life here with this higher power card coming out. Let's get some more cards out today because I felt like pulling a lot, so let's get to it. So for my pile number ones, what do people think when my pile number ones step into a room? I don't want to take all those cards. I think this card wanted to come out though. So we have Saturn coming out. This card says, feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work, and patience. I do feel like a lot of people see you as a patient person and a hard-working person with Saturn coming out here. With this experienced struggle, I'm more so getting that you have experienced struggle and people can pick up on that. But also, see, this owl is coming out. An owl is another symbol of somebody who is very wise. Like we have the higher power here. We have like this elephant who is wise. You are just so smart. People think you are incredibly smart, even from like not even meeting you. You just, again, walk into the room and you exude such strong energy that people are like, this must be somebody, right? Like you must be somebody. People assume that like you own a business or you are the boss. Say you are in a workspace and you walk into the room, people just immediately gravitate to you for advice about what they should do. Whether you are the boss or like the leader or in charge of anybody. Like, say, for example, you are under, like, a leader, like a boss, like your manager, okay? You're under a manager, and this manager is over you and your coworkers. But your coworkers always go to you for advice on what you should do versus your manager, okay? Whether you have that position or not. You're just that type of person that people come to for advice. I feel like there is a bit of you that's unapproachable. Again, like I was saying, because you're so intimidating. And you could dress a certain way. You could dress a lot in like business casual. Even when you're just going out for like a coffee or something, or even going out with friends, you might dress to impress, I heard. So that could be a little bit intimidating. You could have like a resting bitch face almost sometimes. Like you, not that you're even unapproachable like that. Like I do feel like you are approachable. It's more so your energy is just so strong that people might get conflicted, because you might have like, you might be a very sweet, kind person. And I feel like you are pile number one. I feel like you're very sweet and kind when people get to really know you. But initially, when you walk into a room, your energy is just so strong that it can be a little bit intimidating, okay? You could have a reputation at work of being a little bit strict as well. But that's just a side note. That we're just trying to pick up on energy when you walk into a room, what goes through people's minds. Again, you could have very sharp features on your face and people notice that. You could have, at least your eyes could be very intense. So when you look people directly in the eye, they get a little bit scared, a little bit intimidated, but in an awe-inspiring way. It's like people look at you with awe and kind of want to be you versus being afraid of you, if anything. Let's see what else comes through for my pile number ones. What goes through people's minds when pile number one walks into the room? When pile number one walks into the room. Wow, I actually love this. And this is kind of going back to the good fortune I felt with the elephant here. We got number 11 here with good things. I feel like people think good things follow you. Again, you're very lucky. So when you step into the room, people are like, that is a very lucky person. That is someone who has a lot going for them. They have a lot of good things at their fingertips, maybe a lot of good ideas as well. So when you speak maybe to a crowd of people, you're just directly reiterating messages from source, God, whatever, and it shines a good light on you, especially like in the workplace here. And I'm more so focusing on workplace because we have Saturn coming out, and also the elephant is known to be a hard worker. And also good things. It's like people just know that you have like the Midas touch. And so when you step into a room, people automatically want to be your friend, even if you can be a little bit intimidating. But it's because you might dress like you have money. You might dress like you have wealth, or that, again, just that you're lucky. So people want a part of that. So people might literally go out of their way to compliment you. You might even feel like people are like kissing your ass basically a lot of the time, because people know that you are destined for success here. Let's see what else comes out. And with this good things as well, you, again, like I was saying, you could dress very well, so people see you have nice things is also what I'm getting again. So people notice how you dress, that you dress in good quality items. Okay, and you are of high value. If somebody is looking at you in a romantic sense, people think you might be a little bit high maintenance, but that also intrigues them as well, because I feel like some people can tap into your sweet soul. It's just you have an outer exterior that says you have a lot of boundaries, that you think highly of yourself, and that you won't settle for less, okay? So some people might be intimidated by that. Let's see what else comes out for my pile number ones. This card wanted to. We have, wow, interesting. We have the Runaway coming out. Hopefully you can see that. It says secrets running from problems. Ooh, okay. I didn't say it initially, but with the elephant, I was getting that you are a little bit mysterious here. So when you walk into the room, like your presence just asks for questions. Like people just want to get to know you, because like, it's like, how did you get this money? How are you so wise? You must have gone through something, right? Like you must, with this running from problems, I'm not necessarily getting running from problems per se. I'm more so getting like, you have been through a lot, and that gives you a lot of wisdom, and people want to know why they feel comfortable asking you for advice when maybe they don't even know you very well. And so they think, maybe some of them think you are running away from your problems and they want to know why. But I'm more so getting like, see how this card has a key on the top right there? It's like you have the key, you have the answers to life almost. Like people kind of just think about you in this way, especially if some of these people that you walk into a room into you've met before. So if somebody's met you before, they think you kind of have the answers to life, okay? Or like you have it going on, you know what's up. You know, you have a lot of street smarts as well. Pile number one, not only do people think you have book smarts when you step into a room, they also know you have street smarts, maybe because of the way you dress and the nice things that you wear and just how you carry yourself in general. People think you're very street smart as well. And also with the runaway, people could immediately assume that you come from a different place. So you could walk into a room and people know you're not from there, but this could happen everywhere you go. And it could just be because you are a star seed, or maybe you grew up in the city and now you live in the country, or vice versa. And people can just tell that you're not from around there. When you walk into a room, whether you are or not, it's just like you are so different from the area that you're in, where you walk into these spaces that people are like, you must be from somewhere else, okay? And they want to know where, because with this secrets card and like this key, it's like they want to have your secret sauce, I heard. That sounds really weird, but that's what I heard. So yeah, very interesting here. We also have completion coming out, the completion card. Very interesting. I actually kind of want to read the book for this card. I just got this deck. I know this deck has been circulating around YouTube for a while, but I kind of want to, I just recently got it, and for some reason I was drawn to it recently. I never was drawn to this deck before, but I was just like chilling the other day and I was just like, I want that deck. I feel like that it's time for me to obtain that deck, so I did. So let's read from the guidebook here. We have Final Sunset. Hopefully you can see that, or pause the screen if you need to take a picture there. But so this says, there's the legend. So this is like a little story behind the picture right here. So it says, he was raised in an orphanage and never wore new boots until he enlisted in the army in 1942. By the end of the war, he was a decorated veteran and had served what many of his brothers had not. Later, he became an actor. He was well loved, but history will remember him as a war hero. When he was finally laid to rest, Goddess smiled upon him as she received him into the heavens. And there's a little brief bits of like advice and stuff. It says, this is a reminder to cherish all the beauty in your life, including endings. Reflect upon your part in history and discover what you value most. Do not fear completion, embrace it. Am I present in the moment? How do I respond to the idea of completion? And your key ideas are honoring your legacy, a natural ending to a grand adventure, a new beginning on the horizon, a new adventure, honoring those who give to us. And the keywords are achievement, determination, and fulfillment. This is kind of tapping into the energy of the runaway here, where I was feeling that you could be from like out of town, or people think you don't belong in a certain area, or like you don't fit into the standard mold of the people in your area. And maybe you are starting a new cycle in your life. So this could pertain and give good advice maybe to your current state in your life. And maybe some people pick up on that. Maybe you went through something difficult, and when you step into a room, people again can pick up on maybe that difficult energy here, especially with Saturn being here. And running from problems. I'm getting more so that you completed a big cycle in your life recently and you grew wiser from that, and subconsciously when you walk into a room, people can really pick up on that energy, okay? You might also remind people of their passed on relatives. Maybe you have an older, wiser wisdom about you regardless of your age that reminds a lot of people of like their grandparents, or just like a wise figure in their life that might have passed on recently as well. That's only for some of you. Now let's get some tarot up on here to get some last messages about what people think of you when you enter a room here. Pile number one. What do people think when you enter a room? The High Priestess makes perfect sense. The High Priestess talks about mystery and secrets. If the High Priestess had a keyword I would put to it, it would be secrets, okay? Secrets that the universe is hiding from you, kind of the unknown. So again, people think you might hold a lot of secrets, like secrets to life, like holding this key to life, but also people just think you have an air of mystery around you. It's like, how do you know so much, but like you're so young? Or how do you know so much about all these different topics? Like there has to be some sort of lore behind you. Like people want to know your lore, especially if you're from like out of town. Like if you're not from the town that you are living in right now, or the room, maybe you travel for work. And whenever you step into a new area, people are like, who is that? They're not from around here, but they seem to know everything about our culture and our, like, when you travel, you might know different languages, and people are like, how do you know that? Like, how are you on the other side of the world from where you live, yet you know everything about our culture, and you still can give good advice and wisdom? Like, there's that type of energy here. And again, apply it to your situation, pile number one. What else do people think when pile one steps into the room? We have the Page of Wands. Lovely. So again, you have some sort of creative spark here with the Page of Wands. You're very again, I was getting like a sweet energy that comes from you, almost like a childlike sweet energy, where it might confuse people because you're so wise and you kind of have an old soul, but at the same time you kind of act, I don't want to say childish, but you act like you have a young soul with like an old soul's mind, if that makes sense. And people think that's very contagious. People think, if anything, people just think you dress really well. Like this Page of Wands is dressed a specific type of way that caught my attention. So again, you could wear nice fabrics. You could carry around a watch, I'm getting. Like if you have a really nice watch, this is only if it resonates, but if you have a really nice watch, people notice that immediately when you walk into the room, and people are like, where did you get that? Could be pretty expensive here as well. You could invest in expensive clothing, if I could say that. I don't know. Maybe one day, pile number one, I will be able to talk in my videos. Again, it is not today. We also have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, this card specifically in this deck always reminds me of luxury. You see how this guy is just like fine dining? So you could go out to nice restaurants and people think you are like the richest person in there, whether you be or not. If you are a man, people notice like how you sculpt your facial hair, if that applies to the situation, or just the way you do your hair is very aesthetically pleasing. And whether you are a male or a female, however you identify, the way you present yourself is very aesthetically pleasing and very mature, I heard. Whether you feel like you are a mature soul or not, people perceive you that way, partially because of the way you dress and stuff. And let me get one more card out here before I let you go. If you smoke like cigars, people notice that about you as well, and people don't find it gross or disgusting. People think it kind of elevates your aesthetic, if anything. Not that I condone it or don't, just that's how people perceive it. So one more card, please, Spirit. How do people see pile number one when they walk into a room? Yeah, I feel like, whoa, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit the camera there. We have the Ten of Swords. So this is basically something that Spirit wanted me to talk a little bit more about, is that people can see that you have completed a really rough cycle in your life, pile number one. The Ten of Swords, again, talks about an end of a tough cycle. So people definitely can see that you've been through a lot. It's just like with this Page of Wands, you don't let it get to you. And people can also see that maybe you have a lot of thoughts running in your mind. You might have a very overactive, like, just headspace a lot. Like you might be in your mind a lot, and people can definitely see that you have like a whole encyclopedia, a whole library of information and thought processes going on in your mind every single second. And not only does that make you very wise and very knowledgeable about a lot of different things, but also it can kind of weigh down on you a little bit. So whenever you walk into a room, people kind of see kind of like a whole spectrum. Like it's like you're very sweet, you're very childlike, maybe in the way you talk, but definitely people can see underneath that and see that your mind is racing, you have a lot of thoughts, and maybe you overthink a little bit too much, but people still admire that about you because you have so much knowledge, okay? And people kind of want to know, like, what this is about, like the secrets, the 10 of swords, the completion card here. It's like people kind of want to dig deep and see kind of what you've been through, because I feel like you can relate to a lot of different people, even just energetically. Whenever you walk into a room, certain people can really relate to you. Like they kind of, again, either see someone important to them in you, that maybe passed on, or it maybe is still in their life, but they see you resembling somebody that they knew who was very wise, so they can see they can like relate to you in that way, or they just see themselves in you in some sort of way. So very interesting. I feel like maybe your clothes differ from the way you speak. So again, you could speak very quietly, you could even put off an air that you don't know very much, kind of playing dumb or playing coy sometimes in certain spaces, and people can kind of read straight through that, being like, no, you're smarter than that. That's only to some of you who it applies to, okay? But I feel like almost that's a defense mechanism here that you put on, but I don't want to dig too deep into this reading. I feel like you're already a very deep thinking person, pile number one, so I feel like you've already gone through all the scenarios, and I think you already intuitively know how people think about you whenever you step into a room, but hopefully this reading was just confirmation for you. So if it was, and this reading resonated, please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and great rest of your life. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Hello, pile number two. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. If you chose this beautiful moth card right here, or this gorgeous malachite crystal right here, then you're in the right place today. So for today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people think of you when you walk into a room, okay? So I'm first going to take a look at your significator card, and then we're going to get into some oracle and tarot cards to get more information about what people think when you walk into a room. If you skip the intro today, this is a collab with Witch Obsession and at Capricorn Venus Tarot here on YouTube. So if you're interested in their videos, then they will be linked in the description box down below. So let's just head into it, pile number two. So you could be an air sign here with the moth, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or have that strong in your chart. Could also be your rising sign or your ascendant. So this is how people perceive you when you walk into a room, so definitely could pertain to that. So initially with the moth, I'm getting that you're a little bit shy, or you're a little bit scatterbrained. I do feel like people really appreciate either what you wear or your hair or something like that. Like, you are very beautiful. You're very soft. You could have very soft features, especially in your face. Could have like more rounded features, maybe rosy cheeks, okay? Maybe your nails are always like rounded instead of like having stiletto nails or pointed nails or coffin nails or something like that, or square. You prefer more rounded objects. I don't know why I'm getting that. It doesn't have to apply, but if it does, that's just more confirmation about what people notice about you, pile number two, when you walk into a room. You definitely have a soft energy about you, so when you enter a room, people kind of just notice your, like, I heard sweet presence. So yeah, they notice you're a sweetheart, basically. I am getting that from you. You could maybe be a little bit of a bookworm. So you might wear like glasses, or like the stereotypical like nerd wear. You don't have to, but again, if that is how you present yourself, people notice that about you and kind of make the assumption that you could be a little bit nerdy. Also, another thing coming is you could be, I think I touched on it a second ago, is you could be a little bit scatterbrained. So when you pop into a room, people notice that you're a little bit all over the place, a little bit, just a little bit. Like I've said multiple times. So you could be a little bit, if you're not diagnosed, maybe you are a little bit like ADHD, or have those tendencies. So if you are ADHD, people definitely notice that about you when you walk into a room. Pile number two, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but people really love your energy. Again, it's very sweet, it's very subtle, it's very rounded. I don't know why I'm getting like a rounded energy, but it's like nothing about you is sharp. I don't know why I'm getting these shapes to describe you, but it's like your energy is just really smooth. Like you're the type of person that people feel comfortable walking up to and talking to because they know you won't like snap on them, and they know that you'll be a sweetheart and that you'll listen to them. So if you are part of a class, you walk into the classroom, like people might come up to you to ask for like a pencil, or they might you know, just want to become your friend because you seem like a quote unquote safe option for that, because you're someone who presents as someone very sweet and kind. Okay. Let's get some more oracle cards out though to get more information. I also quickly forgot, but I'm going to quickly apologize for my nails in this video. I know they don't look the best, so I do apologize for that if that is a little bit distracting for you. Let's see what else comes out. I do see you as someone who's a little bit daydreamy. So when you walk into a room, people kind of see you as being in your own bubble, in your own world, okay? Could be up in your head, daydreaming a lot, or at least that's how you're perceived. So for my pile number 2s, thank you. How are they perceived when they walk into a room? Beautiful. So we have number 38 coming out here with "to be fair." I don't know why, but I got the vision of a book when this card came out. So you could definitely be a Libra here. This is giving me Libran vibes with the scales right here. So people do initially think that you're a very fair person. You could have fair skin. You could be a lighter complexion. No matter where you're from, you could have a lighter complexion than the people around you, or like the people in your family. You don't have to, but if that is the case, it's definitely something that stands out a little bit. You could wear like clothing that's like very soft, or there's certain textures to it that people notice. You could have almost a cottagecore type of vibe, your style. So again, if that resonates, people definitely notice that when you step into a room. Or like very unique or thrifted fashion pieces people notice about you. Again, with the "to be fair" here, people think of you as a very balanced person. You have almost like a temperance, like the temperance card in tarot, the major arcana temperance card. You give off that vibe whenever you step into the room, like very balanced, very level-headed. Not in the sense that you aren't daydreaming or up in your head, because I do see that a little bit, but it's more so your temperament is very soft. Again, so people also assume that if they come up to you, you'll be the type of friend or type of person where even strangers might come up to you asking your opinion on something because they know that you're going to be fair about it. You might even be the type of person where couples come up to you and be like trying to sort out their argument. Like you might have people or even family members that come up to you being like, "Hey, so-and-so said this. Are they in the right or am I in the wrong?" You know? Or you know what I meant, like, are they in the wrong or am I in the wrong? So you have that type of at least energy when you walk into a room, whether people come up to you about that or not, which I assume doesn't happen often, because normally we were talking about strangers, like whenever you enter a room, but this could be about family as well. You're that type of peacemaker as well. You're a peacemaker. So people, again, might come to you for advice when it comes to, you know, solving issues. You could work with animals is what I'm getting, or you could literally be a librarian or a nerd of some kind, and that is kind of how you present on the outside. You could be completely different. Again, this is just the energy you exude when you walk into a room. Let's see what else comes out. So for my pile number 2s, what do people notice when pile number 2 steps into a room? What do people notice about my pile number 2? So this card wanted to come out. Gemini, another air sign. Definitely could be your rising sign or your sun sign. So Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking. Okay. So yeah, I am more so leaning towards the curiosity, but you could have a very nice speaking voice is what I'm getting, like very calming, very nice. We're getting butterflies here, which are kind of in the same vein as moths. So you could have, again, I'm getting like beautiful clothing or materials or a unique sense of style that's like just very unique. The way you talk could be very unique here. And also, like with Gemini, your words are very interesting to people. I feel like, again, you are, not to overuse the word, but you're very unique in the way you express yourself. So you could ask very interesting questions that kind of catch people off guard. You have an inquisitive air about you, like you're always wanting to learn more. You could be a literal student, or like someone new in the workplace. So whenever you step into a room, people kind of want to take care of you as well, or try to like educate you, and not thinking less of you, but it's more so people want to help you and people want to like see you succeed and stuff like that. Not that you can't do that by yourself, but I am picking up on that energy from other people whenever they see you or get into your energy here. So you might have a lot of romantic in like, not partners, I want to say like people who are interested in you romantically try to come up and like try to help you. Like if they see you struggling, you might be a little bit on the shorter side. You don't have to, but if you are and somebody sees you struggling to like reach something, I'm very short too, so this happens to me a lot, but you might have people like trying to help you like grab something off of a shelf, or you give off the energy, maybe whether you try to or not, you give off the energy that you like, not that you need help, but it's like people want to go out of their way to help you because you seem so innocent and so soft and so like not helpless, but kind of. And I don't want to say these words to say that you are that way. That is just how some people perceive you. Especially if people have romantic interest in you, they kind of just want to take you under their wing, okay? Now, if this is triggering or if this is like not resonating with you at all, pile number 2, then definitely pick another pile. But this is pretty specific, so if it is and this is resonating, then, you know, keep watching because we're going to get some more details right now. So let's see. You could have really soft skin or really clear skin, and people think that's very attractive. So for my pile number 2s, what do people think when they step into a room? What is their energy like? How do people perceive them? Very, very interesting here. We have number 58 with afraid of the attic. Yeah, it's almost like people feel like they have to protect you because you might seem a little skittish, seem a little bit all over the place, seem like you don't know what you're doing, whether you do or not. Again, this is just the energy people pick up on. So don't shoot the messenger here. And I think it's a positive trait. People see it as a positive trait because they find you very unique. It's like people know you're very smart. People can immediately tell that you have a good head on your shoulders. Just sometimes you might be daydreaming, or you might be the type of person who's a little bit clumsy just because you're up in your head so much. And people kind of like, people just feel the need to reach out and help you, and you might get frustrated with that. You might be like, well, people need to stay in their lane, but this is just your energy again when you step into a room. People might think that you're a little bit shy, a little bit closed off to people trying to help you, maybe because you find it annoying and you're like, I can help myself, thank you. Or you just, you know, you are actually shy and you don't like people talking to you as much. So, but people can feel that energy here. The afraid of the attic talks all about being scared of the unknown. Or, so you might kind of give off that kind of scared to try stuff that's new. You might be stuck in your old habits. For example, whenever you step into like a coffee shop that you are a regular at, you might or always order the same thing. So the people there might get the sense that you're scared to try new things, whether it's accurate or not about you. Again, this is just how they perceive you. Let's get some more cards up on here though for you, pile number 2. I want to get more like different details, please, Spirit. People definitely see you as maybe being a younger soul, whether you are older or not. People see you as someone who is still actively trying to learn things about themselves, the world around them. So you could be a little bit younger or a student, but you don't have to be. We also got the pathless coming out. So this says difficult decisions, lack of direction. You might get lost a lot and have to ask for directions. I'm not trying to hate on you, pile number 2. Like, you guys are absolutely beautiful. And when you step into a room, people are like, that person is gorgeous. Like, you definitely have some very beautiful facial features that people find very unique but also intriguing. Maybe you have that ethereal and essence about you, like you're almost an earth angel. So some people might be attracted to that to like help you. Like, people think like you're a sweet little angel on earth that, you know, but there might be some more toxic energies that also like, I heard, hunt you down. So you might have had stalkers even from even walking into a space. So maybe that's why you have a little bit of a guarded energy, because people can become attached to you. I'm also getting, with that being said, people feel attached to you whenever you walk into a room. So you might have stalkers, you might have people who try to like get your information, get your number, and it's because people are just kind of projecting their own insecurities onto you, to be completely honest, because they don't understand how you could be so strong and independent while at the same time being so soft and sweet, and how they perceive you as naive, where I don't feel like you're actually naive most of the time, but some people might want to take advantage of that. And I don't mean to scare you. This is just to help you relate to this reading or resonate with it. But when you walk into a room, yeah, you definitely have a lot of people going out of their way to help you because they find you very attractive. Again, if you're shorter, people might try to reach up and grab things for you. You might have a lot of people who want to be your mentor. So that's very cute. I feel like, and a lot of people want to be your friend, again, because they feel like maybe you are like a safe option where you're very sweet, and so they don't have to worry about you backstabbing them or anything. So that's very beautiful. I love that. Let's see what else comes out for you, pile number 2. What do people first think of when you walk into a room? What's your energy like when you walk into a room from the pile number 2s? So we have the card Dissipating. Okay, so I am getting the vibe that when you walk into certain places, especially places you don't know very well, you tend to keep your head in your lap. So what I mean by that is you'll walk into a place, you'll keep your head down, you might have a hoodie on, you might have headphones on, and you try to block out all the noise. You might be noise sensitive for some of you guys. So you try to block out people and places and just your energy in general when you walk into places. Maybe because you've been taken advantage of or you've had stalkers before, but if that hasn't happened to you, you just sometimes like your own space whenever you're walking into places, or even just going about your business. You like to just keep your head down and go about your business a lot of the time. So with this Dissipating card, I'm more so getting that you like to come in and out of places and not have people really pay too much attention to you, and people can definitely pick up on that energy, pile number 2. So don't think you're being sly with it, because people can tell that you're trying to, you know, like, have your space, which is perfectly valid and perfectly fine. And if somebody has a problem with it, then, you know, let them deal with it, right, pile number 2? And I feel like you've come to that conclusion already. So so for my pile number 2s, let me tap into your energy again. Okay, so for my pile number 2s, what do people notice when they walk into a room? I do feel like you're very observant here. We did get the Page of Swords coming right out. So that's an observant type of energy, a learner's type of energy. Again, like a student as well. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if you're learning something at the current moment. And people kind of just see you as someone who's very curious about life here. Like, it's funny that the Page of Swords came out right underneath the Gemini, which one of its main keywords here in this deck is curiosity. So you come off as very curious, as very open to like learning new ideas, new ways of being. You could be a beginner in something, and maybe in like the area of your work or your studies. So when you walk into a room, you're like the new person, and that's kind of just what crosses their mind, right? So you might have people who want to help you, you know, but I feel like you might be a little bit blocked off from that help as well. So it could be just literally as simple as that. People think you're very beautiful, like your face, like I keep on getting drawn to your face. And maybe your tone of voice, people find very distinct and unique and beautiful. We also have the Seven of Cups coming out. So it's more of like like a little bit of confusion energy, or like not knowing what you want, like this lack of direction or difficult decisions. So you could be, people might have seen you like literally looking at it like in a store looking at options. So you might be the type of person who walks into a store and you can't really decide on one thing or another, so you're kind of just sitting there weighing your options. People kind of notice that about you as well. Again, you're very inquisitive. People think that you are very picky, maybe a little bit, kind of is the vibe that's coming off of you. But I feel like it's more so they see it as a positive thing, not picky as a negative thing. So they're like, oh, this person wants high value items, they want, so they might be, I don't feel like people think you're high maintenance. I feel like people think you're low maintenance, but also at the same time you kind of you're kind of very picky with your decisions or your choices, okay? So that's another thing that people notice about you, and it's just kind of like in passing. I don't feel like people have strong thoughts necessarily about that about you, but it's definitely something that they notice. Let's see what else comes out. There could be something about your hands or the jewelry you wear for some of you, or your eyebrows. I'm getting that people notice. So for my pile number 2s, when they walk into a room, what do people notice? We have the Ace of Pentacles coming out. So people do see your potential when you walk into a room. You're like a breath of fresh air, I heard. So it's definitely something new. You're very unique, like I was expressing before. So people aren't used to seeing somebody like you. So you kind of take people off guard. It's like, I've never seen somebody like pile number 2. Like, you're very unique. Even with your little malachite crystal here, it formed in a very unique type of way, type of look. So again, you could have a unique body shape for some of you, but I'm more so getting like your face and your voice and your mannerisms are very unique. You could have grown up in maybe a religious I heard sector or sanction, so you could have been almost like in a bubble where you weren't exposed to the outside world until later in your life. So you might have a unique way of expressing yourself, or you could just be from a different country than you're living in now. So again, you have different mannerisms in the way that you present and talk, and people notice that a lot about you as well. You could wear floral stuff, so people like whenever you wear like floral, I heard jewelry, but when you wear floral like prints on your clothes, people find that beautiful. So for my pile number 2, so when they walk into a room, whoa, I also saw the Hermit come out, so that makes sense that you kind of have like a hermit energy about you a lot of the time, and maybe that's why people see you as daydreamy, is more so you protecting your energy versus actually daydreaming. But maybe you do daydream a little bit here. They kind of definitely see you as dreamy or living in your dream world in your head, and it's just clarified here by this 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups talks about emotional fulfillment. People see you as very family oriented, or like you would make a great parent for some of these people, which is kind of weird when you walk into a room and people are like, that person would make a good parent. But maybe you work well with kids, or like children or animals or something like that, or you just have a sweet soul and people think you're very nurturing and like almost motherly in some sort of way. Not in the sense that maybe you are a mother, but you could be, but people just kind of see you as being able to really relate to them. Like they feel like, again, you're a safe choice to come up and talk to, because they feel like you would be very kind and very loving and very supportive, and very fair. And I feel like you don't judge. When you walk into a room, people, their initial thought is that like this is somebody who doesn't judge people. Like you kind of just take people as they are without judgment, which is such a beautiful energy, pile number 2. I'm happy that you're here at this channel. Thank you so much for being here. If this reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I definitely appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and great rest of your life. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. If you chose this beautiful peacock card right here, or this gorgeous cryo phrase crystal right here, then you are in the right place. So in today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people think when you walk in the room. What does your energy give off? Okay, what first impressions do you give? Okay, so I'm first going to dive into this card, and then I'm going to get some more oracle cards and then tarot to get more details about just that. But I do want to quickly apologize for my nails. I know they're not looking so great right now, so I really apologize if that is a little bit distracting. Also, if you missed the intro of today's video, this is a collab with Capricorn Venus Tarot here on YouTube and also Witch Obsession, who are doing similar videos to mine. So if you're interested in that, their videos will be linked in the description box down below. So let's just head into it, pile number 3, and see what people think of you when you walk into a room. So immediately you got the peacock, okay? So stereotypical peacock energy, you are gorgeous, pile number 3. First thing, when you walk into a room, people are like, who is that magnificent, confident, gorgeous person? Like, even your eyes, specifically your eyes, could be very, very unique or very beautiful. Could be a unique color. And even if you don't have like a unique color of hair or eyes or anything like that, just your physical beauty is so overwhelming to a lot of people that they can't help but stop and stare at your physical beauty. But you also radiate an air of confidence, of comfortability in your own skin, and people really like just admire that. People stop and stare at you. Probably people just stop and admire your beauty in every single way. Now, you could be an air sign here, so Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. You don't have to be. You could have almost like a model-esque face, I'm getting, or there could be something about you that radiates untouchability. Like people feel like you're untouchable, like a little bit of an air of intimidation around you. Could just be your physical beauty, but maybe just you have like a resting bitch face. Or I'm kind of being drawn to this little like the mouth of this peacock right here. It kind of looks like a frown. That's just how beaks are anyways, but I am getting drawn to that. So maybe you kind of, not that you want to give off an air of untouchability, but it kind of is what's going on here, whether you do or don't. Basically is kind of the vibes you are giving when you step into a room. Is just you are gorgeous, but you also might be a little bit untouchable, but also like, I do feel like you're a very kind person and people can pick up on you. You could be a little bit judgmental, or people, not that you are judgmental, I shouldn't say it that way. People get the impression that you could be very judgmental just because of your physical beauty. And you might also look like you come from money, whether you do or not. And so people might think you would be judgmental of them as well because of that. So let's get some more oracle cards out on here though to get more information about your vibe when you walk into a room. I am getting that you're very like rare. So not a lot of people look like you, pile number 3, and you might have even been told that your entire life, that not a lot of people like really resemble you, or you might not even resemble your family. Okay, so if somebody in this not metaphorical, I guess metaphorical room that you're walking into, if they know of your family or something like that, their first thought is like, you don't resemble your family at all. And this is only if it resonates. Take what resonates. There's a lot of like blue and green hues going on here in your pile, so I'm getting you might live near the beach or something, so when you walk into a room, people assume you're from maybe like an island, or you are from somewhere like on a coast. It could just be the way you dress, or the jewelry you wear. We also have round and round coming out. So when you walk into a room, people kind of just ruminate on you. Even if you leave the room, like there's like a face here and it looks like this like spiral is in this person's mind. Like they're constantly going round and round in their head about thoughts of you. So when you even leave a room, pile number 3, people are just constantly having you on their mind. Like they can't get you out of their head type of energy, specifically because of your physical beauty, but also just the beauty you bring into an area. Your energy is very, very high vibe, because I get very high vibes from this cryo phrase right here. And it's physically a very light stone. Like it feels very physically light. And also the peacock and the air element in general have to do with feathers, like light, the saying light as a feather. So I'm getting that your energy is very light, it's very freeing. And even though peacocks don't tend to fly very far, they can only fly, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they can only fly like short distances or something like that, and not very well. I do feel like you just have a lightness to your energy, so you don't take life too seriously. I'm getting like if somebody goes up and talks to you, they might assume that you are kind of like uptight, but once they actually get to talk to you, they're like, oh, this person actually like doesn't take life too seriously. They're actually very like lighthearted, they're very kind and sweet, and I had no reason to be intimidated by them. But what we're just trying to pick up on the initial energy people feel towards you, so that's kind of what that is. Okay, so let's get some more cards out on here for you, pile number 3. I hope that made sense. I feel like sometimes I don't make sense. So for my pile number 3s, how do people feel when they step into a room? So we have the North Node, and with the keyword here, destined to have. Yeah, I'm getting that you seem not only destined for greatness, you do have this in common with pile number 1. So if you chose multiple piles, or you were called to pile number 1, that could be another pile you should check out. But with destined to have being the North Node, I feel like people, when you walk into a room, people feel like you have an objective when you walk into a room. Like you have a place, like places to be, things to do, people to see, or you know what you're doing in a specific space. So to relate it to pile number 2, people got the impression that pile number 2 might be a little bit like lost, or they're up in their head. With you, pile number 3, if you chose multiple piles, then disregard this. But if you chose specifically pile number 3, people think that you have a specific motive to be where you're at. So when you step into a room, people are like, oh, this person knows what they're doing, or this person at least knows where they're going. So you have a specific confidence about you where people just assume that you know what you're doing. So you could walk into a room and like completely by accident, and you are freaking out inside. You're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here, or I don't know what I'm doing. But not that you tend to get lost or anything, but if that does happen, people just assume that you meant to be in there. Like you could sneak into like college classes and just like sit down in the wrong class, and people just assume that you're there because you're so confident that people just kind of believe your energy. If that makes sense, pile number 3. So let's get some more information now. So for my pile number 3s, what do people feel about my pile number 3 when they walk into a room? Very interesting. We got number 65 here with scry mirror. So I do feel like you kind of shine a light or put a mirror up to a lot of people's faces. So people compare themselves to you, pile number 3, whenever you walk into a room. I do feel like a lot of people could get a little bit jealous of your looks as well when you walk into a room, just because they tend to compare themselves to you whenever you walk into a space. So people are instantly like kind of checking you out head to toe. Sometimes that might make you feel uncomfortable, I'm getting, but that's just because people are admiring like how you look. You might not even dress particularly like uniquely or special, but you dress to fit your body. Most times you dress in a nice way that's pleasing, but it's more so your physical beauty, or at least even if you don't feel like you're physically attractive, just your confidence really boosts how you look. And I'm not saying you are or aren't here. obviously I feel like everyone is physically beautiful in their own way, in their own unique way, but I feel like specifically for you, pile number 3, like a lot of people agree that you are very physically beautiful, and in your confidence just amplifies that. And so people can, again, that's kind of that intimidating energy you give off here in this scry mirror card, because people just like look at themselves and compare themselves to you, which you might have had some situations like happen in the past that were negative when people compared themselves to you. So maybe you try to just kind of like block that energy out, but it's definitely still there, pile number 3. I don't feel like you realize your full beauty or potential like other people do in you. So let's get another card for my pile number 3. When I step into a room, what do people think? Wow, I can't believe I just pulled this card. We have right here the twins archetype. So this says self-protection and dual natures. Why I said wow is because there is definitely a mirroring energy here. We have round and round, 2 of the same word. We have scry mirror, so a mirror reflects back. And then we have these 2 like birds, 2 moon eye things, and then like obviously the twins talks about dual nature. So I think for one, people notice physically that you are very well proportioned, so your eyes, you know, are very like aligned, like your facial features, your body is very symmetrical, and people think that's really amazing whenever you walk into a room. But also people think there might be like, not that there is 2 sides to you, but I feel like people go back and forth, around and round in their mind when you walk into a space or when you walk out of it, where they can't decide or make up their mind who you are, because you present as one thing, but maybe you're at like, you present as like confident and maybe even a little stuck up sometimes, but then there's the side of you that if you're talking to like a service worker who's like making your coffee and stuff, you're very polite, very kind, and people kind of go back and forth in their mind when you leave the room, and they're like, well, who is this person? Like, why is their stereotypical physical features not matching up with their personality or how they even present themselves? So there could be a little bit of a disconnect there. There doesn't have to be, but that could be something if it resonates. People also think when you step into a room that you are very like, just very memorable, because like, again, with the round and round here, you just continuously are in people's minds here. Okay, let's see what else. Though I do want to mention with the self-protection, kind of just going back to how people compare themselves to you, some people might get a little bit defensive when they talk to you because of their insecurities, because they feel like they can't maybe measure up to your beauty or your status, if that applies. Let's see what else. People definitely feel like you have status or money. We also have the Discovery card. Now this is a new deck that I am working with. I know it's in like an old deck on YouTube. I've seen a lot of people use it. New to me, and I feel like just one day I woke up and I was like, I want that deck. I need that deck, so I'm gonna get it. And that day was like 3 days ago. So this deck is very new, so I want to read the book for this, but you got the Discovery card, and intuitively and initially what I'm getting from this card is that people, like, you open up people's hearts and their heart chakras, and this is also, in this card is indicative of the root chakra. We have the red around here, and this is a chakra wisdom oracle cards, so it's based on the chakra, so this is based on the root chakra. So you open up people's like you open up people's hearts and their minds, but you also awaken something deep within them that they didn't know they even had. So for example, if you walk into a room and somebody finds you like very physically attractive in a romantic way, you could like literally get people like wet or hard. Not to be disgusting in this, maybe I should put an 18+ warning here on this reading, but yeah, so you awaken that in them because of your attractiveness, and you stir up people's heartstrings. Maybe you're when you walk into a room, you're used to people like staring at you, in a romantic sense as well, or you have a lot of people who do come up to you or at least view you in that way, and that's because you just like you just like have that natural charisma and confidence. I feel like the key is really confidence, in your energy. So when you walk into a room, people are just automatically magnetically drawn to you. Pile number 3, for multiple reasons, but this is definitely a strong contender for why. So let me find this card actually in the book. I don't want to take too long here. Thankfully, there's not. This book is pretty intuitive. I say that and I still can't find it. So anyway, here it is right here, the discovery portion. Hopefully you can either screenshot that or read that with me. So discovery, pink from Pinkton. I am more than I think I am. So there's like a little story that goes behind the picture, and then other bits right there, which we'll go over. So the story bit says, life is easy for young Pink. He loses Petunia, the love of his life, forcing him on an inner journey. He works hard on himself, hoping for another chance that doesn't come. In desperation, he consults Sky God and learns that Petunia is incapable of receiving love. Pink recognizes that Petunia's role in his life has been to expand his capacity to love. So initially, I think it's kind of, I'm just going to reinstate what's kind of obvious about this card. When you walk into a room, people are like smitten and in love, but they know that you aren't one to be caught. Like, you have bigger fish to fry, I heard. So it's so hard for people to like even like let go of you. That's why you ruminate in people's minds, because they instantly like fall in love with like either how you look, or maybe you remind them of somebody from their past. And so it's so hard for them to like really let you go whenever you walk out of a room. And you're the first pile today where I'm saying walk out of a room more than I am walk into a room. So you definitely leave a lasting impression on people. The other bits of this are you trying to recapture a past that no longer fits? If you are presently upset or struggling with a difficult situation, you may be seeking to keep something that is far less than what you deserve. You also make people question what they really truly deserve or want in this life. Or out of a partner. And then personal inquiry says, am I happy in this situation? How is it benefiting me? The healing of predetermined arrangements must be addressed. Agreement, sorry. Awareness is healing. The key ideas are leaving the past behind, a readiness for a new adventure, a willingness to venture into uncharted territory, and a new level of self-care. And then the keywords are uplift, journey, commitment. So I am getting that hopefully that passage helped you in your personal life. Maybe you're going through something similar, so I hope that there's kind of like an extra message here in today's reading besides the surface level of what people think when you walk into a room. But yeah, people are like, wow, when you walk into a room. Like, literally I'm getting like, wow. Who is that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I always be knocking my camera constantly. Let's get some more cards. I'm kind of running late on time here. So for my pile number 3, spirits, what do people think when they walk into a room? We have the 4 of Swords and the King of Swords. Yeah, this is kind of tapping into the energy I was just talking about. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare. Don't think so. You awaken people out of, I heard, their eternal slumber. So the 4 of Swords can talk about healing. It talks about being asleep sometimes here and not talking, just being like almost in hermit mode, but more so like healing and just being a little bit stagnant. The King of Swords can talk about decisive action, can talk about planning, can talk about just just being smart. So I feel like you awaken people's thoughts, and maybe they're planning. I don't know why I'm specifically getting planning. Sometimes the King of Wands has to do with like planning and coordination and stuff like that, but I am getting that you kind of made people think about where they are in life here with this Four of Swords. Are they just being complacent, or are they actually moving towards their goals and their dreams? That's another thing that somehow when you walk into a room makes people contemplate. Maybe because you look like you have your life together, whether you do or not, or they want to get to a level where they feel like they can come at you in a romantic sense. So it makes them step up their game. Let's see what else comes through. So for my pile number 3 is when they walk into a room, can I get one more card? What do people think? Yes, lovely. I do get some people actually trying to manifest you coming back. So if you walk into a cafe, there might be some people who really are attracted to you or want to get to know you better, and they try to literally manifest you back here with this Magician. And also this Five of Wands, I'm getting that specifically the same sex, whether you are straight or not, I feel like the same sex really gets jealous and feels like they're in competition with you, because we have the Five of Wands coming out. So you might even feel this energy yourself whenever you walk into a room, because the Five of Wands talks about competitive energy. You might feel like a lot of people are competing not only for your attention, but also competing for other people's attention that you take away from these other people, if that makes sense. So you definitely cause a stir whenever you walk into a room. Pile number 3, that's if you got anything today, you definitely cause a little bit of chaos in people's minds when you step into the room. The King of Swords also does have to deal with like the mind, and it's very interesting. There's a lot of air energy going on here, like a lot of thinking. I'm definitely getting, for sure, like you are definitely have strong air in your chart, and especially, and maybe a lot of the people you deal with as well, maybe they have a lot of fire, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I don't know why that is coming through, but maybe you have a specific person in mind that you thought of while you were coming to this reading, even though it's a more general topic. But yeah, you stay on people's minds. People try to manifest you back. Like whenever you step into a room or step out of a room, and there's a lot of competition here, so for your attention, but also you might find yourself in competition with other people if you're interested in somebody, you know, like people just automatically compare themselves to you in different ways, especially when it comes to your physical beauty. Pile number 3. So I hope this reading resonated with you, and I hope it helped you. If it did, please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to check out those other readings by Capricorn Venus Tarot and Witch Obsession here on YouTube. They have great channels, great videos, so please make sure to check them out. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and great rest of your life. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. If you chose this beautiful snake card right here, or this gorgeous purplite crystal or something like that, then you're in the right place today. So in today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people think when you walk into a room. So I'm going to first tackle your significator card right here, and then I'm going to get some more oracle cards and then more tarot cards to get more details about what people think of you, again, when you walk into a room. Though I quickly want to apologize for my nails in today's video. They're not looking so great, so I definitely apologize if that is a little bit distracting. Also, if you skip the intro of today's video, this is a collab video with 2 readers here on YouTube, Capricorn Venus Tarot and Witch Obsession. So they're going to be doing how are you currently being viewed. Witch Obsession will do that video, and then Capricorn Venus Tarot will do what is the gossip on you. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please check out their videos linked in the description box down below. So without further ado though, let's head into your reading, pile number 4. So with the snake here, I am intuitively getting that you guys could be a little bit more, you could wear more earth tones, or maybe more of these colors here, kind of like my channel colors here. We have a theme going on, so I approve. I'm just kidding, pile number 4. So I heard you don't need anybody's approval. I am fully aware. That was a joke. So anyways, you could be an earth sign quickly. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. You definitely give off earthy, creative vibes. I'm getting a lot of creative energy. You could wear like bohemian style clothes or like loose fitting clothes. And people notice that when you step into a room, your energy is very grounded. So people feel that. They can feel that not a lot will either like change your mind. You could be a little bit more on the stubborn side, pile number 4, and people can kind of recognize that when you step into a room. They definitely feel like you're I heard a force to be reckoned with. And not in like a bad way. I feel like people, not that they're intimidated by you, they just feel like you are your own person. You're very strong in your beliefs. So when you walk into a room, people immediately assume that you have your opinions on things and you're not going to budge. Whether that be true or not, pile number 4, that is intuitively what I'm getting, what people think of when you walk into a room. Now let's get some more oracle cards up on here to get more information. I also feel like maybe you change up your style a lot, or your hair color for some of you guys, or maybe you have an quote unquote unnatural color for your hair, and people really notice that when you step into a room. I don't know why I'm getting this, so take it only if it resonates, but if you wear like open-toed shoes, and you like paint your nails, people like this is kind of gross, but people like look at your feet a lot, or like maybe you like, I don't know why that is coming through, like maybe you walk places barefoot, and people notice that. I don't know why I'm getting that. You could be a little bit taller. You don't have to be. If you are taller, people notice your height statue, or shorter here. Because I'm getting like the tall polar bear and the short polar bear here, like the baby and the mom, supposedly. And then it says a leg up. So I intuitively got that you could be either pretty short or pretty tall. Maybe not so much an average height. That's only if it resonates. And if that is the case, then a lot of people, like, that's a first thought that they have in their mind whenever you walk into a room. Also, a lot of people feel like you have hidden knowledge. I'm getting, like, with a leg up, people know that you're very spiritual. As soon as you, like, step into a room, it could be the things that you wear. You could be wearing more, like, quote-unquote spiritual gear, as in you might have, like, an evil eye necklace, or you will have, like, just sacred symbols all over your body or in your clothing. You just appear very witchy, pile number 4. I love my pile number 4s. Because they always come across as very witchy and earthy, and I love this type of energy, and usually very, very enlightened. So, hi, if that is you, that's, again, the first impression people get of you as well, so I love to see it. For some of you guys, you go a lot of places with, like, your child. So if that resonates, if you have children and you take them out, you know, people notice your kid as well, and they think you guys look very much alike. That's just a quick little nod to my parents out there. Let's see what else comes up for my pile number 4. What do people notice when you walk into the room? So we have the 10th house coming out. Very interesting. So the 10th house talks about career. So we have structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So some people might think you're very accomplished in your career. You could have like I'm getting a darker aura around you for some reason. Could be like a dark purple, dark blue, maybe even black or something. And you, I don't feel like you are intimidating at all. I just feel like people notice a strong energy come off of you, where when you move into a space, people can feel the air shift. I heard almost like a ghost, but I don't mean it in like a negative or weird or scary way. I don't think you guys are scary unless you identify that way. But sorry about the noise. I am so sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, sorry, to get back on topic here with this 10th house. So you definitely could be career oriented. You could have your nose in your phone a lot, I'm getting. So you might get a lot of messages, or people think you're getting calls from work or from important people. I do feel like you might have a good physical like body. You might work out a lot. You don't have to, but if this resonates, people notice that when you walk into a room is that your physique is very good. You look like you're very disciplined in whatever you like to do. Like either in your, like if you practice like witchcraft, people think you're very disciplined and very knowledgeable here with this owl here. Whatever you put your mind to, you some of you could be dancers, and people can tell as soon as you step into the room that you're very committed to what it is you like to do. Let's see what else comes out. Oh, we already pulled that from that deck. Let's pull from this one. So for my pile, number 4s, what do people notice when they step into the room? I'm kind of having a hard time picking up on your energy. Maybe you're a little disassociating a little bit when you're coming to this reading, pile number 4. Even though I do see as a mostly grounded person, I'm kind of, I don't know why I'm picking up on that vibe, but let's move on. Maybe this is the reason. We have number 47 here with protect your heart. Yes, I do feel like people can feel like a force field around you when you walk out. And now that I see this, I'm also seeing the snake here as you protecting your special energy. Maybe that's why I felt that dark aura around you. It's almost like a protection where you're not necessarily unapproachable or even mean looking or anything. People do feel that energy of protection around you, whether it be from spirit. Spirit might literally like protect you from like the evil eye or negative energies, or you could do that yourself, depending on who you believe, what you believe in, you know what I'm saying. You could literally go out with a lot of protective symbols all over you, and that's where that protection comes in, and people just can feel that energy, like they can't get to you, right? Like I was saying, not even like a stubborn energy. People can just not tap into your energy. And it's so funny that I felt that energy as soon as I pulled this card. I didn't even look at it yet, and I was like, I'm feeling like pushed out of your energy. And I feel like that's why, because when you step into a room, you push out any negative energies and you push out any unwanted energies, which I feel like is unfortunately very common when you go out into the world. A lot of people are putting out negative energy towards the people around them because they were hurt in the past, or they just don't trust people, etc., for whatever reason, or they're just having a bad day, which is perfectly fine. But I feel like it's very important to protect ourselves when we go out, and I feel like you already know that, pile number 4. Like you've already mastered that, and people can definitely tell that from you. When it comes to your physical appearance, again, people think your physique is very beautiful. You could have, people tend to not stare at you because your gaze is very intimidating, I'm getting. You could paint your nails like darker colors as well, and people kind of like notice that when you go out for some reason. I'm picking up on that. Let's see what else comes out though. I'm very interested. I feel like, again, if you go out with like your kids or people's kids, maybe you babysit or something, you're very protective over them, or just your inner child. So you don't let people take advantage of you. You don't let, I feel like you will speak out when you need to speak out, and people, again, can feel that vibe whenever you walk into the room. So what else for my pile number 4 is, how do people feel about them when they walk into your room? What's their first impressions? What's going on here? Ooh. Yeah, so we have the Hunter coming out, which makes perfect sense here, with sure-footedness and predestination. Yes. When you do go into a place, similar to pile number 3, you already have like a predetermined destination to where you're going, so you're very matter of fact. So when you step into a room, if you are like a boss or a leader of some kind, you're very to the point, like very factual. I heard punctual, so you could be a type of person who like comes into work on time, and maybe people have issues with that. Maybe people think, oh, that's too late to come in on time, or they're like, early is on time and on time is late. But you have, I feel like you go by your own set of rules. Pile number 4, you're kind of a rebel in that way, and people definitely immediately figure that out by your energy here. With the sure-footedness, just reiterates what I was saying, that you are very sure of yourself. And where you're going, what you're doing, where you're headed, and you can't can't, well, I don't think so at this point, but you won't let anyone dissuade you or persuade you in ways that you don't want to be. With the hunter here, I feel like people romantic interests, people who have romantic interest in you might feel like you are a little bit intimidating, in the sense that they feel like they will be shot down by you if they try to approach you. So if you're going out in the world just minding your business and you're like, I wonder why I'm not getting hit on, like, I'm physically attractive, why don't people like go out of their way to, give me their number and stuff, it's because people think you will just shoot them down. You'll be like, no, because of this protective energy you have. So not that I'm saying if you want that, put your walls down or anything. I feel like the right person will come at the right time, obviously. So you obviously have this protection for a reason. But yeah, you definitely have a lot more people looking at you romantically than you even realize because of your strong barriers. Just putting that out there, pile number 4. Now let's get another card out on here. So for my pile number 4s, what do people assume when they walk into the room? Beautiful. We have destiny. So yeah, a lot of people can tell you are destined for greatness. You have a specific path in this lifetime. People can definitely feel the spiritual significance of your presence. Pile number 4. Now this is a relatively new deck to me. I know it's old on YouTube, but so I want to actually read the book for this destiny card. I did this with all my piles today, so let me quickly find this out here. Now there might be messages in here that don't have to do with how people perceive you and just general life advice. So you might be going through something similar to what this card is pertaining to, but let's get some messages here from this card. I'm trying to hold everything so you can see it. Hopefully you can. So we have destiny with black and white. Together we are stronger than alone. So there's like a little story that goes behind the picture and then other messages here, which we'll go over. So the story says, black and white are in heaven, waiting to go back to earth yet again to complete their work. Sorry, I'm just going to read this here. Hopefully you could see that when you did. It's just a lot easier for me. So black and white are in heaven, waiting to go back to earth yet again to complete their work. When they meet and fall in love, they learn that they will not be together on earth. In previous lives, their love was ill-fated. They appeal to the council of great spirits who turn down their requests to be together. But the great servant appears and grants their wish. Together, they accomplish greater things than they could have done alone. Oh, that's so cute. It's kind of like making your own destiny, right? So people think you kind of make your own way in life. They definitely see that when you walk into a room that, again, like with your sure-footedness, the hunter, even with a leg up, it's like you have some sort of spiritual knowledge and people can tell that you do. And so you're not swayed by other people's opinions. Even if people are looking at you crazy when you're out, pile number 4, you don't care. You don't let people's opinions bother you. You are about your business, about your career, about where you're going in life, and about your coin, and about your family and the people you hold close to you. And that's it, right? So the other messages about this card are: take a risk, dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? The personal inquiry part says, what tools do I need to form my own destiny? Am I ready for my destiny? The key ideas are true love, taking a stand, positive omen, radical thinking, deep satisfaction, ability to change. And the key words are love, pathway, and faith. Yes, you definitely exude faith here. Faith in the divine, maybe faith in faith that gives you a confidence that maybe not other people have. Like you just have maybe a calmness about you, like a sturdy calmness. So when you walk into a room, you make the people who are high vibe, you make the people who are confident in themselves, you amplify that. You make those people even more confident, more calm, more safe. But you do rattle the bones of some other people when you walk into a room who are not high vibe, who are not on your wavelength. And I don't necessarily like using the term high vibe, but I feel like it gets the message across here. Because I have my opinions on that, but it's, it does the job, I guess. So yeah, people kind of see you as almost like a spiritual teacher. You could literally be a spiritual teacher. So when you walk into the room, people just respect you in that sense. So you could walk into a room of students where you're like practicing Reiki or yoga or something like that. And people look up to you for spiritual advice. And people that you don't even know, when you walk into a room, they automatically know that you have some secret knowledge or something that they want to tap into as well. And so they might try to talk to you about that, you know. I heard even politics. I feel like you're the type of person who is open to talk about politics as well. Let's see what else comes through for my pile number 4s. What do people notice about them when they walk into a room? Please, Spirit. Whoa. That card came flying out, and it's so funny because that is the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest moving card in tarot. It talks about communication, and maybe like some swift words, swift action, and swift thoughts. I feel like your mind races a lot, and you have a lot of esoteric thoughts, metaphysical thinking going on in your brain at all times. We also have the Two of Pentacles, which means like back and forth, up and down energy, kind of things are not settled yet. So maybe you say some things like when you walk into a room and you're saying something and people notice that you kind of just say things without thinking them, but that's you just channeling. And some people might be taken off guard by your ability to just freely express how you feel about things. And I feel like that's not common in society, at least not where I live, where you're just free to fully express how you feel about something, even if it could, quote unquote, get you canceled. Or just having different opinions sometimes doesn't take with people, you know? Even close people, close friends or something. So that is something people notice when you walk into a room, is they know that you have a sharp tongue. Like I was picking out with this Hunter card, especially romantic advances, they feel like they would be cut down immediately. Whether you will or not, again, take this with a grain of salt, because this is how I'm picking up people perceive you when you walk into a room, not how you actually are. So again, keep that in mind during this reading. I'm hearing that if you are on the masculine side, people think you have like big dick energy. I'm just throwing that out there. You could could have a lot of tattoos, and people notice that when you walk into a room. Pile number 4, doesn't matter how you identify or your gender. But there could be somebody here named Jennifer or Chris or Claudia, I'm getting. Or Hunter, literally, or Destiny here. So if that's your name, then take it as extra confirmation here. But yeah, I am getting that you kind of unsettle people a little bit because they know that you speak the truth. And sorry, I'm not getting so many physical attributes. I feel like if you wear like Ugg boots for some reason, people notice that. Like it kind of like just elevates who people see you as. I don't know how that's possible, but again, I am just channeling here. Let's see what else comes out for my pile number 4s, please. When my pile number 4 steps into a room, what do people notice about them? Wow, interesting. This is interesting. Let me talk about this in 1 second. We have the Knight of Pentacles coming out. I wish my camera would focus. I'm filming this at night, so there might be like weird shadows, or my camera might not focus very well, so I apologize. My pile number 4s. And we have, interesting, the 4 of Swords coming out as well. So this is more of that, like, I'm feeling blocked off energy here when I pulled this 4 of Swords, like this protect your heart type of energy. Now, what I said interesting about the Knight of Pentacles coming out, also with this Knight of Swords and this 2 of Pentacles coming in between. This talks about like balancing 2 different things. We have 2 opposite energies here. Knight of Swords, fastest moving energy in tarot. Knight of Pentacles, slowest moving energy in tarot. So I'm getting a few messages with this. One is that sometimes people can't make up their mind about you. For one reason or another, maybe by the things that you say versus the things that you do, there could be a little bit of a disconnect there. Also, you could just have different types of people who are interacting with you, and people have differing, hugely differing opinions about you. So you might have like older people who think negatively about how you dress, but then you have a younger generation who is thinking very positively about how you dress. So when you step into a room, you might have two specific groups that are either loving on how you look or hating on how you look, or just two different types of opinions, okay? So that's very interesting. Here you have two different people who might see your stability and your slow movingness or your conscious decisions, and think of you in one way. And then you have other people who think you're just spitting out whatever. And maybe some people can be confused by your energy, because you can go from like being very outgoing to being very introverted as well, here with this Knight of Pentacles and Four of Swords. So you might confuse people there a little bit. It's just an energy I'm getting here as well. Let's see here. And we do have like the two types of energy here with the black and the white, right? Remember in that story? So I feel like you're very strategic about how you talk to certain people. So when you step into a room, you know exactly what to say to certain people and then what not to say to other people to get what you want. Now, that being said, I do feel like you don't really care about people's opinions. So if you are not getting something out of a certain person, I don't mean it in a negative way, but if you don't agree with somebody, you will stand up for your beliefs, I guess I should say. But you also can get along with a lot of people, and I do feel like you are a pretty charismatic person. Now, to tap into that creative energy, I do feel like you create a lot of things, like maybe even artwork with your words. So you might have a very pleasing voice people pay attention to, but also you could write poetry, and maybe you go to like slam poetry events or just poetry events where you like speak your piece and then you're done, you know, and then people might be ruminating on your poems, or you might post things online, or like we could even call like an online forum or a chat room like a literal room that you walk into, and then what you say is very charismatic, is very transformative here also with this snake. Maybe you inspire people with your words here with this 10th house being here. Because you have your set direction, you can also help inspire other people to go after their dreams as well. Pile number 4, which is so beautiful. I love to see it. So I hope this reading did resonate with you, and I hope it helped you. If it did, please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and great rest of your life. Thank you so much for being here. Pile number 4. See you next time. Bye.